What's up, guys? Do me a favor if you can hear me loud and clear, comment. Today, guys, really excited about going live today. There's a lot of what I think little stuff going on in the credit card game, but it's definitely worth keeping up on. And some of it's good, some of it's okay. And I'm going to go over some of it and I'm going to give you my opinion. And I want to hear what you guys think about some of these things. Lot lot of guys appreciate you, said loud and clear. Okay, so I think I might actually be getting this live thing down a little bit. I'm starting to kind of figure it out. So what we're going to do, guys, I did have a community post and I do want to answer those questions. And I want to, if anybody has any questions in the chat here, I'm definitely going to answer those. Keep it simple says, hey, Luke, hope you're having a great week. I'm not, but we're getting there. We're getting back on track. If you keep up with the channel, you know, I haven't been posted a bunch of videos lately. And it's the last 30 days or so, I've had a lot of little things, little unique things going on that have kind of precluded me from posting as much as I want. But we're going to get back to it. October is going to be a big month for us. I want to post a lot in October, and I want to put in a lot of work in October, and really in the fourth quarter of 2024 anyway, the whole quarter. Raul Menendez, staying for the 5th time at the Conrad Fort Lauderdale. Always get dinner there when we stay. Do you like the Italian or the Asian restaurant? We don't go to the Italian restaurant there. We go to Toccato. Is that what it's called? Toccato? My little boy calls it Takatu. So we love Takatu, and we love the Hilton next door, their restaurant. They always have really good, some type of fusion type sushi and all that good stuff. Love it. Mr. Stan, Dr. Stan, the credit frog. All the winners put in work in the fourth quarter. Yes, sir. I believe you're right. Stan is a winner. Scott LeRae is in the house. Guys, we've talked about Scott LeRae on this live before. He has a couple different YouTube channels, and he's got a serious, really cool niche. He does a lot of traveling to Africa and all over Africa, and he shows you a lot of the stuff in that continent that a lot of us regular guys aren't aware of. So check out Scott LeRae's channel for sure. He's a super cool dude, retired military, and he walks the walk. So check him out. Mr. Chad's Money Minutes is in the house. We got the Traveling Hatter. Sonny B11D. Apparently, Etihad is going to have an expansion in the U.S. So American miles will become more valuable if more cities get service. Man, can American Airlines miles get more valuable? We're going to talk about American Airlines here pretty soon. But, man, I love American Airlines miles. Frugal Dad financing. Oh, yeah. Well, we can talk about this. I think this is getting a little bit blown out of what it actually is. It says Reddit is posting that Chase Sapphire Preferred is adding a $300 travel credit through the portal. Seems to be targeted. I've not heard of that at all. I thought you were talking about the kind of the flexing of the $300 travel credit on the reserve. Some of the older card holders, they're changing the dates of when they get that $300 travel credit. But are you saying that Reddit is suggesting that Sapphire Preferred holders are just getting a free $300 credit? That would be really sweet. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but hey, we'll see. I don't have it. My wife has it, so that'll be nice. Random account. Is this $300 part of a new sign-up bonus? In that case, my wife would not have that. Move that. Kid Cat says Scott's channel helped him figure out how to book a flight for a wedding in Lagos. This January. Nice, dude. I've not been I'm going to Africa in January, but Northern Africa, Morocco. So not quite the same thing, but at least I'm touching down, you know? Okay, so Soap says the $300 credit is part of the new sub. I don't know anything about that, guys. Tariq says new offer of 60,000 UR points plus a $300 travel credit for a $95 card? Yes. You have to get it if you're eligible. Sorry, I have an itchy nose. If you're eligible for that sub, you got to get it. That's easy. That's an easy one, man. I don't know what there is to talk about. If you're eligible for it, you're under 524, apply now for sure. Okay, let me set my phone up here because I had some community posts and I want to make sure I get the actual questioner, their name. I don't want to leave them hanging. I'm not texting them, checking this phone. The first question was hang tight with Marcy. Marcy has a YouTube channel too, if you want to check it out. 3 questions. Maybe I didn't. Okay. Yeah, I didn't get all of them on there. Okay, listen. Marcy wants to know, do you find better deals with hotels, airlines, or both? What do you guys think? I mean, it really is. It's gonna have. You're gonna have to say both. Cesar Joel's in the house. What's up, mi hermano? You are looking ruggedly handsome as well, sir. Thank you for that. But guys, what do you think? Better deals at hotels or airlines? I'm going to go ahead and say I feel like it's more difficult to get crazy value at hotels, but it might be more important for a lot of people. Let me see here. She also asked, what's the best way to find travel deals on points without paying the premium versions of what's out there? Yeah, you can either do a ton of work searching all night long and getting a huge headache, or you can purchase one of the search engines that seats.aero or points.me. I think if you're going to do an international business class, whatever you pay for a month or 6 months of a service like that, you'll get back in the first flight. So I use seats.aero, and I've had a lot of success using that. But with my favorite, one of my favorite programs is Avianca Life Miles, and I will manually search those jokers. It's a huge pain in the butt. Cesar says airlines wins. Yeah, you're gonna get the big money for the airline redemptions. And I even thought about scenarios in my head where my strategy might include paying cash for hotels, just because you can earn really well when you pay cash for them. And I don't know. I don't ever see as many crazy deals. Then again, there are certain strategies with hotels where you can get free nights, and the statuses will make up for that. So you guys hear my wiener dogs barking. I think my wife's coming home. And she also asked, how far out is best to book trips on points? What do you guys think? Because I think it's either last minute, like this week, or it's 10 or 11 months out. I think in between is where things get a little more difficult, but I personally really like to book mine all the way out. But you guys might also know I cancel half of the stuff I book anyway. I really would like to do some last minute stuff. I think that would be really fun. And I've even wanted to do a deal where, how about I just fly to Washington Dulles, or I fly to JFK. And when I get there, I sit in the lounge or sit wherever I can. Which I guess if I don't have a ticket, I can't get into a lounge, but sit somewhere and just like kind of roll the dice and pick a place and fly there within the next few hours. That would be fun. Traveling Hatter says hotels give easier deals. Airlines really make you work for it. Yeah, you could be right. Rick Beck says points.yeah. Seems pretty good. Supra 2008's in the chat. Thank you, sir. Sonny says he got 4 nights at Riverview Retreat in Montana. Cash value of $28K for just over 500,000 Hilton points. Yeah, you can. You know what? You guys have good points. And I've definitely gotten some really good values on Hilton stays. So you're right. I think it's both. I think depending on what you're looking for. Michael Pythium says airlines. Tariq says he's a domestic traveler, so definitely hotels. Julius gets a lot of deals with the hotel. So here's the thing. Here's the thing, Marcy. We are Oh, I just got it. We're split. We're split right down the middle. So we're split down the middle, and I think the basic thing we're going to take from this is got to have a lot of points. Got to use both. Let me see here. Let me catch up with the chat here. Kid Cat just got a 7.57 cents per point award on Alaska domestically. Woo! That's nice. I have a good cache of Alaskan miles that I haven't figured out what I'm going to use it for. I hope to find something fairly soon for those. Sonny says he used to think airlines were better, but people don't realize how much Hilton's SLH, small luxury hotels, changes the entire game. You're right. There's some really big stuff. Oh man, sorry guys. Yeah, Kid Cat said he's happy to get 1 to 1.5 cents for hotels, 2 to 3 cents per Hyatt per point for Hyatt. And yeah, I think that's right. But I think where you can really make it a huge value is when you mix in some certificates and maybe you mix in some status. Nobody that I know on YouTube or even in blogs ever takes in consideration that upgrade you got due to status as far as their cents per point or how much value they got. You can't get it every time, but I think it does pay to mention that when you do use points and you show some loyalty to a hotel, you can make out pretty big once in a while. And I've had the pleasure of getting a couple decent upgrades. Nothing super crazy, but so we're split. Marcy, sorry. All right, so we're not talking about politics tonight. Apologies, but there's enough of that going on, and I think a lot of us are probably sick of it already. We got another 6 weeks or so to go. Um, so we're going to talk about credit cards, cashback, points and miles, and travel, and lighter subjects. We're not going to talk about politics. All right. Ethan Yang Gang. Can you talk about why people would choose a large Hilton or Marriott? Okay, I'm not sure. Versus just getting a Chase sub for Hyatt and Hilton's if they go to. And Ethan, can you be a little more clear, man? I'm not on my game tonight, so I'm not quite understanding that. But if you're asking why somebody would, maintenance of an annual fee, yeah, because here's the thing: when you get into Hilton and Marriott, you have the largest footprint. So let's say I want to go, and this is a great example. Let's say I want to take my family to uh, South Florida and I want to be on the beach. I don't know if there's more than one Hyatt beachfront in South Florida. If there's another one, it's fairly new, but for a long time there was only one. How many Marriotts or Hiltons are beachfront? You have a dozen to choose from. That's a big deal. Hilton specifically, you can buy the highest status. You can't do that with Hyatt. I think a lot of people they see the hot or the Hilton credit cards. They have really good credit cards. They have a really easy vehicle to rack up a 500,000 points in 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. So I think that the chase up for Hyatt's, I think it's a great strategy, and it's something I'm moving towards right now. Um, I hate to say it because you guys know I like to bash Chase and Chase fanboys, but I've been leaning more towards Chase in the last year, and that's going to continue. Xavier's in the house. Oh yeah, so Ethan Young that says the quarterly credits. The quarterly credits, if you could find a way to utilize those, the people that know how to do it, it's pretty easy. John R is in the house. John, I'm doing fantastic today. Much better than the last 30 days or so. We've had all kinds of little tiny issues, but everything is irie now, as they say. Next question, guys. Let's help them out. This is AD Kellogg. What's the best hotel card for families? I think this is going to be subjective. I think this is going to be different for everybody. Best hotel card for families. Now, that's a tough question, man. we got- we have another Uncle Luke in the house. Called to cancel the Barclays to avoid the $99 annual fee, and the representative wanted to switch me to the Barclays Silver card with no fee. I would probably take that, get the no fee, and then it will probably convert over to a city card at some point, and then maybe you can product change that to a custom cash or something. That sounds like a good deal. But what is the best hotel card for families? Is it the Hyatt card? One thing about Hyatt that I've learned is with Hyatt, you can pay the extra points for a suite often. With Marriott or Hilton, the suite prices are completely outrageous, and you can't really book those on points. Um, Cesar says the Hyatt cards are trash. Yeah, I don't completely disagree with that. We're going to talk a little bit more about the Hyatt card new bonus towards the end of this, but I don't disagree with you. I think I did a video. The best Hyatt card is the Chase Ink Cash. So for this one, the best hotel card for families, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the IHG is a good one, because I do know IHG does have a lot of their brands that probably cater to families, and at the same time maybe cater to more of an economical option. You can find a Holiday Inn resort everywhere. Um, Not super high end, not aspirational, but if you have two kids, you can get a suite with a bunk bed, and you can get that on points. So I would look at the IHG cards. I think the IHG cards are really good. I have the business version. My wife has the consumer version. So right now we have tons and tons of IHG points and IHG free nights. And man, I don't know. Listen, don't know what it is, but your boy, Uncle Luke, loves staying at super high end hotels. But for some reason, I always have great experiences at Holiday Inns and Holiday Inn Expresses. Um, I don't know how much my wife likes them, but I really like them. Soap says he doesn't understand the difference between a hotel card for a family. Yeah, and I agree. But the Wells Fargo autograph journey comes to mind. Simple, cash back, or 2-to-1 for choice. Yeah, I think that's a great. The journey, yeah, the journey's a $95 card, and it gets times 5 at hotels too. I think that's a great one. Gregory Harper just got back from Japan. Thanks for all the help. Flew American Airlines Business. Not the best, but pretty good. Yeah, they're not bad. They're not crazy over the top, but they're not bad. JAL economy on the way back was pretty nice. Yeah, very nice, man. Kudos for you for doing the economy ride. Yeah, Kid Kat, I feel you, man. Like, it's depends on the kind of family. For me, it's the Aspire, um, Choice, or IHG. Yeah, that's a tough question. Um, Hyatt gives you suite upgrade certificates when you have 40 nights. Yeah, but here's the thing, man. I don't know a ton of families that are putting 40 nights in at Hyatts. That's going to be a business traveler or somebody who's just a lot different than most of us. Yeah, Julius does the Marriott. Cesar says IHG cards are a great pick for families. I agree. And they don't have bad earning categories. And with IHG, much like Hilton, you can buy the points at a great price. All right, let's move. Boxer has a question. Hey, Luke, random question. Ended up in Amex pop-up jail. Not too sure why, though. Got 4 cards, all active, not upgrading and downgrading, or just using to burn through welcome. Well, Boxer, here's the thing. Everybody seems to try to figure out this pop-up jail. And here's the deal. American Express is willing to extend you X amount of credit and X amount of sign-up bonuses within a particular time. I don't think anything can help you besides a targeted offer, time, and spend. So and here's the thing about American Express. If you are in pop-up jail, I think American Express is going to be forgiving with that. So it's a temporary issue. I think you keep those lines of credit open, you spend on them, and Maybe you get to a point where they can extend you some more credit, but that's probably not the issue anyway. But I time and spend. And if you do apply for something, I'd make it a limited time offer. Yeah, Tariq says he likes the Holiday Inn Expresses for when that's what you need. When you need a base of operations for just a little bit. Yeah, AD Catalog has a great point. The Wyndham card for the Vacasa bookings really does sound like a winner, especially if you're going to get that business earner card from Wyndham. It's a Barclays card. They won't give it to me. I've tried to get it 3 times, I think. But check that one out. Wyndham for Vacasa. Good suggestion. Uncle Luke, my twin brother. Hyatt Rio is amazing. Tier 2, but really is a tier 5, 12,000 a night. Very cool. Michael Pythium, I agree with you, Michael. Michael says Best Western card is a sleeper. Listen, man, people can knock Best Western all they want, but I've been to a lot of places where there was a nice looking Best Western right next to me. Even in Dubai, Miami has it. South Florida has a great Best Western, and they have Best Western. They have upper level Best Westerns. I don't know what they call them, and they're not like super high end, but they have nice Best Westerns for sure. And from what I understand, Best Westerns are they're just underrated. I think they don't get any love because they're not fun to talk about. Jorge Reveron. Hi, Luke. What's your take on stacking 2 personal and 2 business Delta cards to get status, and also the credits are not bad? That's a tough one for me, man. 2 personal and 2 business cards. That's a tough one for me, but here's how I think it works. You have to have a lot of spend, and I think if you have a lot of spend and you live in a Delta hub and you're only going to fly Delta, here's how I would play that, and the only way I think it makes any sense. You spend a lot and you do get that high tier status, and maybe you use Sky Miles for everything. Maybe you use Sky Miles to book hotels. You use Sky Miles for everything. You're really diligent in the Delta shopping portal. You use the Delta dining program, and maybe you're getting millions of Delta Sky Miles. If you guys have ever watched Call Me Lonnie, he has a strategy like that with United. He is all in on United and just carries a sick number of United miles, and he can still book hotels and really spend them for everything. So I think that might work. That's a lot of annual fees, man, and a lot of low earning spend. So I don't think that's going to be the best option for most people. But if you do it, I'd love to hear how it works for sure. Ethan Yang says, "What do you think about the 2-card Hilton strategy versus 3-card Marriott strategy?" Yeah, and a lot of people are using these multiple hotel cards for free night certificates. I'll give you my opinion on that in a couple of different ways. One, I have had 2 or 3, at least 3 Hilton cards, and I think they all complement each other really well. I think if you're loyal to Hilton, I think it works. You can get tons of value because those Hilton cards are really good. Marriott, I have always struggled to find really good value with Marriott points. I like some of their cards, but I've not been able to get value from the Marriott points, and I've not been able to get value from their status because they have so many different brands that don't even recognize the police or ambulance or something. But a lot of Marriott brands are tricky because I can't figure out what they recognize. Second thing I want to say about that is, well, I hope they're not here to get me. I think they kept going. The second thing I want to say about that is the free night certificates. Your Uncle Luke does not like free night certificates. If I could cash those out for half the point value, I would. Why? Because they expire. And if you gave me, I've never had to drop a free night yet, but I'm going to eventually. I had to basically almost waste a Hyatt free night certificate because it was category 1 through 4, and I don't really stay at those places. I ended up using it for a Bengals game that I might not have otherwise used it for. It's preseason, so it's kind of silly. And the, I'm going to lose the Intercontinental Ambassador status free night. I'm not going to be able to use it before it expires. So, not a huge fan of free night certificates as much as I am just a ton of points. Okay, so boxers might I like boxer. I hope you do go with that Delta strategy. I think it'd be interesting. I'd love to hear about it. JP Knowledge is in the house. Dude, JP Knowledge, I don't know where he is right now, but the dude has been all over in 2024. He was just in some crazy places. I can't even tell you all the places he goes. But another dude that has a channel and absolutely walks the walk. I did get some Alaska miles, JP. I got them with the Bank of America business card earlier this year. I haven't used them. Kit Kat, Best Western is amazing in the West. National parks always have a good BW. That's good. I like your style when it comes to national parks and Best Westerns. MJ says getting status with the Hyatt is very hard, but the properties are amazing. Yeah, I'm not. That's it. That's another conversation. I don't know how anybody can say that Hyatt properties are amazing when they're not Ritz Carltons and they're not Conrads and they're not Waldorfs. And I've been to, was it a Park Hyatt? I've been to one. Man, it was nice, but I wouldn't go back. I went to the Park Hyatt in Switzerland on a guest of honor certificate, and I wouldn't go back just because yeah, they have nice properties, but I'm not going to sit here and say they have these amazing properties as compared to the rest of them. They all have amazing properties. Free night certificate. Here's the difference between the free night certificate on the Surpass and the Hyatt card. The Hyatt gives you one. The Surpass, everybody complains you have to spend $15K, but you can earn a ton of Hilton points during that $15K. So if you have a good amount of spend, I'm going to say that $15K Surpass certificate beats a Hyatt category 1 through 4 certificate 10 days out of 10. Put it this way, if you gave me a category 1 through 4 certificate with Hyatt, even if I had a lot of Hyatts planned to stay at, I don't know if I could use it because I don't stay at those places very often. And every year they take all the decent category 4s and make them 5s. But a lot of folks aren't ready for that conversation. There's a Best Western in Akihabara, Japan. That's cool. I like that. David Williams going to get the Best Western card and review it for us. I like it. Steve Jobs. The Hilton Aspire with a diamond status. My 15-year-old included in the free breakfast or on only limited to it's the free breakfast. That's a good question. I'm going to say it's the credit is only going to be for up to 2 people. And I think the free breakfast is this is what I'll say just off the top of my head. It's guaranteed for 2 people, but the hotel may make the decision to give the kid a free breakfast as well. And I think most places I've been that have done that, they have not charged me for the kids' breakfast. But your mileage may vary. Guys, we got 120 people in the live right now. Slap that like button for me. Let's see if we can get a little higher than that. That's a lot for me, and I appreciate it. And I appreciate all you guys spending your time with us tonight. Uncle Luke, that's not me, says, what is the best strategy for paying my annual $15,000 property tax bill? Tax assessor will only take 2 cards. Can you not prepay any of that? So you can't pay it quarterly? Well, listen, if you're asking me what the best strategy is right now, today, as we sit here, go get that 250,000 MR point offer for the business platinum and pay and drop the whole thing on there, and you'll have a few thousand left to spend to get $250,000 MR points. I think that's excellent. That's not the case. I would really take, if you can use 2 cards, get 2 cards. Apply for 2 cards. The biggest bonuses you can find, because that's a lot of spend. That's a lot of spend, man. Oh yeah, Keith said 105 people in the chat. Hit the like button. Thank you, Keith. Appreciate it. Brad G says, I have a category 1 through 4 night that's expiring in December that I won't use. Yeah, and would you take 20,000 points for it right now? Would you take 15,000 points for it right now that don't expire? I probably would. Nifty Ninja says Luke walks the walk. I've seen it. I get around a little bit. Just a little. We're taking a break this quarter. I'm not supposed to go anywhere this quarter. I think I'm going to, but Soap says JP comes off as a really smart dude for real. JP is a really smart dude. He's a cool dude too. I met him a couple times. Met him a couple different times, and I can't wait to spend more time with him. I didn't get to spend much time with him in New Orleans. Stan says mid-tier free nights are really helpful to stay at an airport property before you go. Stan, you're totally right, and that's something I've done a couple times, and I like doing that. Um, if you need an airport hotel the night before you leave on a big trip or the night you're coming back, um, I did that when I took my dad to Panama. We stayed at the airport Hampton Inn the night before because we had a super early flight and I didn't have to because it's not always possible to get an Uber. I live in a village, so there might not be an Uber, and didn't have to wake my wife up in the middle of the night to take us. So I agree, Stan. I think that's the best kind of advice that you could do or you could give somebody for longer trips, um, especially if it's 5 in the morning flight. Just stay at the airport. There's actually some cool airport in Istanbul, Turkey. They have a hotel that's on the other side of security in the airport. Very, very cool. Jeff says the free night awards can be traded from multiple guests of honors. Did not know that. Thank you, Jeff. That's why I love this community. I would probably do that. I would probably do it. And for Hyatt, the Thompson properties are the best. They're not category 4 anymore. A couple of years ago, they were 4s. Oh, JP. Yeah, I thought you meant that. I don't have yeah, I'm not able to transfer any Amex points right now. How I do my stuff is you know how a lot of people if they drained, let's say their Chase UR points, they kind of get stressed out like, "Oh man, I'm out." I feel a huge sense of satisfaction when that balance is 0. I love it when my transferable currencies are 0 because that means I got all kinds of crazy cool stuff booked. So right now I don't have any MR points. Uh Getting ready to finish the 175K bonus for the business gold. Um, and honestly, if I can, that might be something I would transfer 100,000 to Hawaiian and transfer over to Alaskan because those Alaskan miles are money. Keith says if you spend 15K on the Hyatt card, then you've earned 2 FNCs for the year. Yeah, but I mean, I think yeah, it's now here's the difference with the Surpass and the Hyatt card when we're talking about spending 15K. You spend 15K on gas, groceries, dining, and something else with a Surpass, you're going to end up with a good amount of Hilton points that everybody says aren't very valuable, but we all know you can get a penny a piece for them. With Hyatt, you're not gonna earn very many Hyatt points at all if you spend 15K. The most you'll earn is 30,000. And I get they're not the same value, but I don't see someone spending 15K on a Hyatt card and having a huge dump of Hyatt points. Now spend 30K on a Ink Cash card or a Freedom Flex. Now, maybe you'll have a bunch of Hyatt points. Ethan Yang says, wow, Stan's here. Hey, I know Stan. Me and Stan know each other. John R just hit us with a $2 super chat. Thank you, John R. Appreciate that so much, man. You guys know times are rough. What do you call that? Inflation and all that. Rodrigo Mendez said he transferred all points to Alaska through Hawaii, Amex style. Everything else just doesn't beat Alaska. Virgin, yeah, we're going to talk about Virgin here in a minute. Couple different times. Good work, Rodrigo. I like your style. Amex having Alaska as a somewhat of a transfer partner kind of changes the game. Cardi just got the 250K platinum. Nice, Cardi. Good job. Property tax bills, U.S. Bank, Altitude Reserve. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can see that for sure. Rosie Peach said, out of every credit card YouTuber, you're my favorite to watch. Thanks for all you do. I, Rosie Peach, appreciate your kind words. I don't always get kind words, so I definitely appreciate it. Boxer. Luke, another question. I'm hoping to get back into Chase good graces and their ecosystem. Do you think it's a bad idea to knock the spend for the welcome offer out in what? No. If you can knock the welcome offer out in one transaction, do it. I've done it a couple of times. It's the coolest thing ever. But how you can do it, it's even cooler, is if you can knock out the welcome offer before you even get the card. Uncle Luke, the U.S. bar is a U.S. Bank Altitude Reserve. Philmo's in the house. What's up, Philmo? He's using some Hyatt F&Cs this weekend in Memphis. Later this month in Chicago, but he'd much rather have points. So you're going to Memphis and Chicago, man. God love you. Hope you're staying somewhere nice. Why don't you throw in? I guess you just left you just left New Orleans. You going to Chicago and Memphis. Why don't you hit like Beirut or something next time? You can trade Hyatt, man. Okay, yeah. Chicago's a good place. They got a lot of category 4s. Yeah. Let me get down here. MP Rubio, what's up, man? Amex didn't think it was cool. Oh, Amex had a problem with you hitting the bonus with one shot? I've never experienced that. I've hit the Amex bonus really, really quick. George Morales, what's up, Uncle Luke? Received an email for Amex Gold offer 100,000 points. Question, is it worth it? That's not even a question, man. Absolutely, it's worth it. 100%. The gold card, I might talk smack about the gold card because I think it has a lot of folks fooled. That doesn't mean it's not an S tier card and not an awesome card. It really is. And any card that has 100,000 point offer is good to go in my book for sure. Yeah, and then Philmo's going to go to Detroit. Okay, all right. Maybe why not Juarez, Texas, while you're at it, man? Uncle Luke says leaning towards Amex for the 250 point, which is the business platinum, has that crazy awesome offer. Philmo headed to Felucia next. Yeah. All right. That's all I can. Oh, Boxer says, I don't think that puts you in pop-up jail. Maybe if you hit that sign-up bonus in one transaction and then you didn't spend on it in 10 months. But I don't think Amex is never going to have a problem with you spending legitimate spend. Belmar says, hey, Luke, can I get the Amex Gold sub if I have an Amex Platinum? No, get the business gold. Problem solved. Mr. Luke, do you ever use American system-wide upgrades? I've never used one. I've never had one. Yeah, I've never used them before. I really struggle to even understand the system-wide upgrades. Mr. Nick has something interesting. I don't know if I understand. Just join. How do you feel about the CSR getting access to Maple Leaf lounges? Not much, but I did not know that. And here's why I think that's great. I am a big fan of flying out of Toronto. Toronto has some money flights to Europe, tons of availability. So if that's the case, I didn't know the CSR was going to get us in Maple Leaf lounges. I've never been in one, so you might be right. It might not be the best lounge ever, but man, if that's the case, that's a big plus up for the CSR. That's awesome. Michael Pythium, I have not flown Starlux. That's one of the ones I've kind of looked into. I'm interested. So, guys, well, yeah, Virgin Atlantic dynamic or surge pricing. Dugras says, I've seen you mention before the AAA credit card, which gives you 5% on one category. But when I search for it, I only find AAA card that gives you 3% on gas. So there's this is Dugras. There's two AAA signature visas, and they have different names. What? But you can only have one. One of them is the daily something. I don't know what they're called, but there's two of them. They're both blue. One of them is 5%. One of them is 5% on groceries up to 10K, and one of them is 5% on gas. Now, Carlos is going to come back in a few minutes, guys. So somebody needs to have a questions for Carlos. Actually, you want to stay here and wait? So he's going to stay here and wait. Let's give a question for Carlos. He's not been on in a while, and he has aspirations of being a YouTuber. So we're going to try to get him some FaceTime. But Doug, if you can find the actual website, there's two. And I think the gas card is 5% up to 7K. So it's a little bit different. I have the AAA Daily Advantage. I have it. Okay, let me see. Ian says, question for Carlos: is Joe Burrow going to lead the Bengals? I lost you. Okay, to the playoffs this year. They're 1-3.
I don't think it's just going to be Joe Burrow.
Their whole team is going to lead themselves to the playoffs.
Yeah.
You heard it here. But a big part of it's going to be Joe Burrow. Jamar. He likes Jamar. He got to meet Jamar. He's got autographs from all those guys. All right, beat it. Carlos, how are your grades in school, sir? Listen, Carlos just took all the state testing stuff, and he's been found to be gifted. So we're not worried about his grades. Anybody has no excuses not to get good grades. I'll go. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
All right. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you. Who's your favorite YouTuber?
Madden YouTuber RBT.
Madden YouTuber RBT. All right. That's enough. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you throwing me a bone. What's the Bengals record at the end of the year? Don't ask him that. What did they have? They lost 3, so they'll be 14-3. Okay, JP's in here. CSR just added some Air Canada lounges as long as you're flying Star Alliance. Okay. It's a pretty big ad for anyone that has those lounges in their airport. Okay, so I would have to do some research because I don't. But I do like Aeroplan points, so I definitely may find myself on Star Alliance flights, and I have a ton of Avianca points, so Avianca miles. So we might have to figure that out. Oh, Mr. Nick, I'm sorry, I didn't want to see that. Charlie. Okay, how can I find the 5% version AAA card? It's on. Let me see. Maybe I can put a link. If I Google AAA Visa Signature credit card. Yes, come here for 1 second. Doug, I'm going to put a link in the chat if it'll let me. And I'm sorry if this is shaking around. Whoops. Yeah, sorry if this is shaking around, but I have a weird setup at the moment. All right. That's a crazy looking link, but maybe it'll work. Carlos, someone had a great question for you. Would you rather go to the Super Bowl or your dream country in business class?
Just so I could flex on my best friend, which his team has also never won a Super Bowl, actually never been to a Super Bowl, probably go to the Super Bowl.
You know why? Because he already knows he's going to his favorite country in business class. All right, beat it. Thank you, sir.
I know, go.
You got some extra questions tonight.
This has more for me.
Okay. Okay, so that link didn't look like it did all that well. But I just Googled AAA Visa Signature card, and they both came up. One is the AAA Daily Advantage. I guess I could. Can I share my screen? Daily Advantage Visa Signature and the AAA Travel Advantage. The Travel Advantage is 5% on gas, and I think that's up to 7,000. And the Daily Advantage is 5% on grocery store purchase, 3% on gas. But you can only earn $500 in rewards, which would be 5% category would be $10,000. Super Bowl, yeah, Super Bowl. Dad can take me anywhere. Yeah, you're right. He's going to be able to go wherever he wants. So, um, so that, well, so Doug, I hope that helps. I don't. If I knew how to share my screen on this thing, I haven't got that advanced yet. So I don't know how to do it unless somebody knows in StreamYard how to do it. Um, Anthony James got an offer for the Chase Sapphire Preferred for 80,000 points. Is it worth it? 100%. Get that Joker. If you're eligible, get it. Christina says he looks. Yeah, he does look like me. I made him, and I remind him all the time that I made him. Okay, so Doug, Bread Financial website shows it under credit cards. That's probably the easiest way to get there. So, have you guys heard about Virgin Atlantic going to dynamic pricing? And what do you think about that? I'll give you my take. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I still think we're going to be able to use Virgin Miles to fly Delta domestically for good rates. And I still think you're going to be able to find their partner international stuff for fairly decent rates. And I also think it's a bonus that we can earn tons and tons of Virgin Atlantic miles, which helps. But it's definitely a bummer, man. And it's a bummer, but it's something that because it's been such a great deal and with a lot of good options for so long. And it just ran out of a lot of options. I would say this is how it affects me. I'm definitely not doing any speculative transfers to Virgin when they have a bonus. Yeah. Ian says he's interested to see what kind of Virgin Saver awards are like. They said it'd be cheaper. So if that's the case, if they still have deals available, then I'm good. I'm okay with it. I understand devaluations are coming across the board, especially with those programs. So and that's the power of having transferable currencies. One program devalued. Did have a question from I don't remember who it was. Let me see. Ronald Hugh. What's your first smash and grab business card? What do you guys think? If you were in the hunt for a smash and grab, just get the bonus business card right now, what would you get? Here's one that you might not hear people suggest or mention. The US Bank Triple Cash right now is a no annual fee card that has a really good earning structure, and it's got a $750 bonus. Which $750 for a free card and a business card, pretty awesome. Dugraw's report says it appears they force you to download the Bread community app to apply for it. Yeah, here's the thing. I got it before they were with Bread. When I first got it, they didn't have an app. I had to go to like the AAA site and punch in certain zip codes to be eligible for it. And I got it that way. I got it like right after what's my man from Cleveland's name that has a channel? Proud Money. As soon as Proud Money did like a video on it, I went and got it. So I've had it for a while, and I'm telling you, it's 5% cash back, man, at grocery stores. And here's the crazy part. Everybody listen, and don't repeat this. Everybody listen to this. At least where I live, the AAA Visa Signature gets 5% cash back at Walmart's. And yes, I said Walmart's because that's what we say in the Midwest. So don't tell anyone because then it'll ruin it and they'll take it away, but take advantage of it yourself. Yeah, counter everything. $100 annual software credit too. Works on Adobe and Microsoft. It's big time card. What we got here? Whoops. Yeah, Cardi says business platinum. Yeah, business platinum's a great one. If you can spend that money, I would get that business platinum in a second. JP says as long as it doesn't change the partner booking, yeah, that's the thing. As long as you can book A&A, which they devalued it, but it's still I think is a great deal. Hey, and here's the thing about some of those business and first class to Japan flights. Let's keep it real, man. You're only going to do it once, maybe twice. So whatever it really costs is probably going to be worth it. And plus, it's Virgin miles, so you can earn tons of them, and you get bonuses when you transfer. So those devaluations don't bother me much. Yeah, Francis Yoon, you keep that to yourself, man. The Walmarts. So first, smash and grab business card, or the ink card, man. You can't beat these ink offers. If you're eligible for Chase cards, get an ink. Even I'm not the biggest Chase guy in the world, but you got to get the ink. Here's the topic, guys. What do you think is Citi going to be partnering up with American Airlines? Because that is a pretty big deal, if you ask me. Citi is supposed to, I'm sorry if this is shaking. Brad G says, Luke, if I had, well, only give your P2, man, okay, I lost it. Oh, P2, one card to use for everything. What would it be and why? Capital One Venture X. It's easy. It's got a high limit. If she is traveling, she'll have lounge access. Hopefully I get her more lounge access if she was traveling by herself. But it's just an easy card. It's my catch-all. I hope she's really good about using the cards I tell her to use, so I don't have to worry about that. Super says, Uncle Luke, do you work with referrals? I am planning on staying at the Indigo in Shibuya. And if I'm satisfied, I might get the $95 annual fee IHG card. Do I work with referral? Yeah, I have referral links, if that's what you mean. And I do have IHG referral links if you want me to send you one. Traveling Hatter, that's a great question. Uncle Luke, have you heard anything about the Amex Biz Platinum 35% MR rebate going away? Here's the deal with that. I reported this when I first got the card, and I got it maybe, was it April? It's been a while now. And they took that benefit off the landing page. Now, what that means is it's still there. I've used it 5 times this year. But normally what that means is that's not advertised as a benefit, and it won't be there very soon. So I think it's going away. If you also look at the other stuff with the business plat, some of those credits are ending December 31st or December 30th, 2024. So I think the business platinum is going to have a huge refresh at the beginning of the year. And I really like the 35% points rebate. And if that goes away, that might be the nail in the coffin for that one. I really only got it for the sub anyway. John R says it makes sense for Citi to partner with AA. Let me ask you guys a question. Matt Clausen's in the house. Yeah, Citi is getting exclusive with the cards, but not transfer partners. Yeah, I guess here's the question. If Citi were to get AA as exclusive transfer partner, would Citi be changing the game for you? Would that change your setup? Because I can tell you for me personally, I am really close to phasing out Citi from my setup. I'm ready to take the Citi Premier and the Strata Premier and just product change it to another custom cash for a cashback card and just kind of being out of Citi ecosystem altogether, just because I am part of so many ecosystems. But if Citi gets American Airlines as a transfer partner, that might make me do a complete 180 and go all in on Citi. Yeah, Filmo says if Citi partners with AA and gets a 101, YouTube will explode. It'll be the biggest thing ever. I can tell you right now that my biggest videos that I've ever made have been about American Airlines. I don't know why they have it's two of them by far bigger than any other video. So you combine that with some city action, that'll be definitely a big news. John R says no, he's a Delta guy, which Delta is obviously much better. But the thing about Delta Sky miles are not going to be worth as much with partners and overseas flights. American Airlines miles, they're money no matter what. Partners, they have their own overseas flight. You can fly from Philadelphia to Dublin, Ireland in business class for 45,000 American Airlines miles. So many options, so many crazy great options, but not with a lot of ways to earn them right now. Joshua NG says random, but if it would be wild if Wells picked up American Airlines as a transfer partner. Matt Clausens is here. He's the Wells guy. And I'm telling you, you guys are going to have to start giving Wells some credit pretty soon. Like the things that Wells are doing, if that Beyond Autograph Beyond card comes out and it's even halfway decent, they will have put together a pretty good setup in the last year or two. I just got that Signify card, so it's a 2 points on everything card. I have the autograph card. So, I think Wells is headed in a really good direction, and at some point, people are going to have to keep their hate to themselves. Oreo Bounce says people are sleeping on AA hotels. That's another thing, man. If you went all in with American Airlines, you could use their points, their miles for hotels. They have a big time shopping portal, great dining program. You could really get in all in on American Airlines for sure. Brad G's at a hub. Yeah, there's a lot of yeah, Joshua, you're American Airlines right now are not easy to earn, except for sign-up bonuses, which you can kind of churn the city cards every 48 months. But with a transfer partner like City, because you can earn a lot of City points. JP says, I don't know if they can be a one-to-one transfer partner with American Airlines. I think the miles cost too much. City would lose money buying their miles. Bilt was losing money on every sale to AA. And the CEO, the latest CEO of American Airlines, says that they are not going to devalue their miles. They're going to keep them very valuable. So I don't think it's going to happen, but you can wish. And I think if it doesn't happen at a certain time, I'm going to move away from City as an issuer, just because I don't think they can compete with the big dogs, and I don't think I can carry on 5 ecosystems forever. Oh boy, Uncle Luke just booked business on American Airlines to Rio de Janeiro for $45K. Big time redemption, sir. Big time. JP doesn't want to be the negative Nancy, but he sure is. Oh, the Platinum OG got a Capital One business card and it reported to his personal credit. That's I can't believe they do that. I think you should be able to get that taken off. That's just, it doesn't make any sense. Matt Clausen says, given how easy you can rack up City points, yeah, 3-2 or 5-4. Yeah, I mean that would make sense. I think it'd be a real downer for a lot of people just because they wouldn't understand the math. But I think 3-2 or 5-4, I would do a lot of transferring. I would do a lot of city card using as well. Navy, Anthony James said Navy Fed raised my cash rewards to 2% on everything. Navy Fed's making some moves. All right. Philmo says 5 ecosystems will make him dizzy. Yeah, it's too many. It dilutes it a little bit. Like right now, I really only use the custom cash, and it's for gas, and I don't spend a ton on gas. So I will have some city miles, but not a ton. Did you guys hear about the Amex Charles Schwab getting a cap on cashing out your MR points into a brokerage account? Now, I put this somewhere and somebody responded and said, hey, the cap is $1 million MR points, which sounds like a lot. But everybody in this chat that's involved into the Amex ecosystem has seen that you can earn five, six, seven, 800,000 Amex MR points really quick. So being limited to 1,000,000 points a year is probably not something most of us need to worry about. But with referrals, bonuses, high earnings, it might affect some folks. And I guarantee some people were cashing that out every year. That's a lot. And it's still a devaluation, but probably won't affect very many of us. Comment if it affects you. Are you any of you guys cashing out? I mean, maybe once. Are any of you guys cashing out more than 1,000,000 MR points in a year? It's not a ton of cash back. I mean, it's $11,000, which I guess is a lot. But if you were saving up for a couple years, it's not that hard to. I think I've redeemed 700,000 MR points this year, and I've been staying away from Amex for the last year. Oreo Bound says MR points are too valuable. They won't be cashing them out. JP says with great deals on short haul American Airlines miles with Alaska miles. Absolutely. Here's the thing, JP, like you say 15,000 for domestic. Oh, first class. Wow. Very nice. I've been seeing American Airlines offering like 6,000 AA miles for one ways in economy. Like 6,000 miles. They've been having some great deals as well. Yeah. Uncle Luke says 10 times on your AA bonus of 30% after you reach 100,000 miles on a hotel stays. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to use those American Airlines miles. Philmo says we earned 900,000 MRs this year, but no cash out. Need them to tour the murder capitals of the United States, right? But 1,000,000 points it sounds like a lot for a cap, but in reality, it's probably not so far off that let me get this city thing off there. There we go. Ethan Yang says, how do you get that many if not subs? Well, you can get a 250,000 MR points with one sub. Let's say you got the business plat and you got the gold card for another 100,000. You're going to earn 25 or 40,000 on the gold card from organic spend. Now you're at 350. You're at 500,000, close to 500,000 right there. You get a couple referrals for another 100K. You can get there pretty quick. You can get there actually really quick. Yeah, mostly subs, but you can get, and a lot of Amex referrals are 100,000 MR points a year for each card. So you can definitely get to 1,000,000 points pretty easy. Yeah, Carney says have 2 kids in 2 years to find out how quick you can get there. You're absolutely right. Oh, all right. So we talked about Virgin a little bit, right? So right when they devalue, so we can probably blame this on Wells, right? So Wells got Virgin Atlantic for a transfer partner. Is anybody excited about that at all? I know we wanted to wait and see Wells get more partners, and I don't think Virgin is a bad partner to get, but I don't think this definitely did not knock my Aunt Connie's socks off when they announced they got Virgin. I would have rather seen Aeroplan or maybe something domestic, and really anything besides Virgin. But the good news is Wells is moving in that direction of adding partners. Guys, we got 142 people in the chat. Slap the like button, please. And that's a lot for me. I appreciate you guys showing up here. And I usually get higher numbers the later I go. So I'll try to go a little bit later tonight than I did last week. Yeah, like Philmo says, Wells doing things, but everybody has Virgin. Yeah, and that's true. But I don't mind that because like I said, I just got the Signify, so I'm going to have 60 or 70,000 Wells points any day now. So I don't mind if they have the same transfer partners, because guess what? I use the same 4 or 5 for almost everything. I just wish it was Aeroplan. But they have Avianca Life Miles, and I really like their program. I keep saying I'm going to do a video on their program, so that should be in the next week or two. Super says, sorry for all the questions. UL, I got an offer to upgrade my Amex Green to the Gold with a 20,000 point bonus for $1,000 spend. Should I upgrade and return to Green since I love my Green card? Here's the thing: if you're asking me if you should upgrade it, collect that bonus, and then and then downgrade it fairly quickly, I would not play that upgrade downgrade game. That's not something I do. It's not something I would recommend. I know people do it, and I know people get great results from it, but I would not suggest that. If you're asking me if you should do that, I would say no, not unless you want the gold card. I would not do that, and a couple of different reasons. I'm not trying to come off as a holier than thou guy, but I don't think it's I don't think it's I don't know, I'm trying to say this in a way that won't make anybody mad, but I don't think it's a proper way to play this game. I know if it's in their terms and conditions and they're giving you the upgrade offer, I get it. I don't think that's mutually beneficial between me and the issuer, and I try to keep things even. Don't worry, I want to get ahead, but I would not do that. I don't. It's not for me. That's not an ethical action to upgrade it, knowing that 3 months from now I'm going to downgrade it. But if you do it, it's 20,000 points, I guess. Which is, like I said, it's not in the grand scheme of things. If you anger the Amex gods, 20,000 points is nothing. Alfred Morales, first time on a live. Thanks for all the great videos. About to leave for a trip to Mexico City. Man, I really want to go to Mexico City. I almost went in January, this coming January, but I didn't. But I definitely want to go to Mexico City. One of the things that's definitely on the list. Yeah, Robert Ferguson, or Donald Roberts says, get the gold with the full bonus. I was kind of assuming he already had the gold at one time, but if you've never had the gold, get that big giant bonus with the gold. So we got Wells adding a partner. I think it's good. Maybe not really a big deal, but it's cool. Who we got here? Partnering. Okay, guys. You guys know my favorite brand is the World of Hyatt, right? So the World of Hyatt card, everybody used to complain about the bonus on the credit card because it was misleading and it wasn't that good. So now they're offering 5 free night certificates, category 1 through 4, of course, for the bonus. I think it's only like $3,000 spend or something. It's a low spend. What do you guys think about that? Matt Clausen says Wells adding a partner is always good. I agree, man. I'm not a Wells hater at all. I think they have a chance to really blow the doors open here pretty soon. Michael Pythium says 90K on an ink still beats 5 free nights. 100% for free too. No annual fee, and a much better earnings card for the most part. You'll earn more Hyatt points in organic spend on an ink card than you will the Hyatt, card. Here's the thing. I think a lot of people will be happy with this, and I think it will drive a lot of applications because people will see that as 5 free nights, and that sounds great. But like I said earlier, man, 5 category 1 through 4 nights will not knock my socks off, let alone Aunt Connie's. And category 1 through 4, I don't know if I can use them all. Like Stan said, the category 1 through 4s are for that one night before you leave out of the country. I don't know if I have 5 of those in me. Matt says the new World of Hyatt offer isn't bad as long as you get to book the 5 free nights. Card's still a smash and grab and then an albatross. I don't. The only thing I can think of is if you have an extraordinary amount of organic spend or maybe just spend in general, I think it's okay to have if you're a Hyatt loyalist and you need to spend towards that status. JP says he'd rather have 60,000 points. I agree, no doubt. Uh, yeah, and you can get 60,000 points by spending X number of dollars, which I think if you're going to get the Hyatt card, you need to spend 15 grand on it anyway. I don't understand anybody who gets that card and says I'm just going to get the first part of the bonus. No, I mean, if you get the Hyatt card, you need to get 15 grand. Get the extra category 1 through 4. Stay. And along the way, you'll probably hit 5 different brands, so you may end up with 3 different free night certificates after your first year with that card. Matt says the 2 tier offer's bad. Yeah, I mean, I here's the thing. I agree that 2 tier offer's bad, but I would rather hit both tiers than just the first one. I wouldn't get that card unless I was going to put 15 grand on it. But I do understand that some people are not spending a ton of money per year, so that might be too much for them. And I would say to those people, that hotel card's not for you if you don't have a lot of spend. Have you been to Vienna? If so, what did you think? I have not been to Vienna. That's on the list. My wife really wants to go. And if you look at Avianca Life Miles, you can do Chicago to Vienna or New York to Vienna for, I think, 70,000 Avianca Life Miles each way in business class. It's Austria Airlines, which I don't think they're like winning any awards for being over the top great, but it doesn't look bad at all. And I think it would be fun. I would really like to go to Austria. And that's really high on the list right now. It seems like we always end up in Germany. So Austria would just kind of be take Germany's place. The Joker speaks. Hyatt cards on his radar. Go get it, buddy. Oh, Ian's got the restaurant tea down in Mexico City. I love Mexican food. Michael Pythian says he's going to retire in Germany. Oh, I like your style. I had when I was in the Navy, I had plans to retire in Spain. I wanted to stay in the Navy and have my last duty station in Rota, Spain. So it's like the south part of Spain there, and stay there, get a job on the base, and never leave Spain. Didn't happen though. Didn't work out. Where are we at here? Okay, so all right, that's all the topics I had. Michael Pythian was an Army guy. I like that, man. Thank you for your service, sir. Just got done talking with the VA today about some stuff. Rodrigo says, why not phase out Capital One instead of Citi? That's a great question. It seems like Capital One miles keep devaluing with Virgin now going to dynamic price. Capital One really can't devalue for me because they have Flying Blue and Avianca. Those are my two biggest ones. I think they have Aeroplan as well. But why not phase out Capital One? Here's the reason, and I think it's a valid reason. Free authorized users on the Venture X, and it's the best catch-all card I can find. It does have a high-ish annual fee, but I hate to say it, but I don't even consider that annual fee. I don't even think about that annual fee because it is so easily mitigated. I think it's a card you keep for the authorized users. Here's another reason. Carlos is an authorized user on the Venture X card. So he has access to $30,000 in credit, and he has, in a sense, started a credit history. So I don't want to ever get rid of that card. I've been with Capital One for a really long time, and I like their app. And I think paired with the Saver One, it makes sense to keep, even if I'm not going to use it much. I mean, if that makes sense. Some non-duty related stuff. Bilmo says I'll probably retire to the poorhouse. Yeah, if they still have those, I don't know if they have them or not, man. I don't think they have them. So you might want to keep working, keep collecting them MR points. You can probably stay at a really nice poorhouse with all them MR points. Carlos head to Vegas. Carlos has not been to Vegas. Oreo Bound, if you have about 100,000 cash to put in a BOA account, you can get their premier level catch all at a higher. That's great. And I will challenge anyone to factor in the inconvenience of moving that amount of cash, assuming you have it, to get, what is it, 2.62% cash or 2 Capital One miles that I can get 5, 6, 7 cents per mile. I'm just going to be good with the Capital One for nothing. Super just hit us up with this $5 super chat. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your answers and useful help. Take this W. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Yeah, Christina, I would really like to hit the Christmas markets in Vienna. That would be really a dream come true. I know my son would like it. My wife would love it. So that's definitely a goal. Joshua NG, the $300 credit is fairly easy to use. It's not easy. It's the easiest thing in the world to use. Like if you do travel, all you have to do is book a one way or a couple one ways through the travel portal. It's so easy. And for me, I think it'd be more like I would stay at a boutique hotel. If you end up staying at a local hotel, it's a non-credit card chain. Yeah, just like you said. I think it's super easy for somebody that does travel. It's easy enough where I don't have to talk about it. I don't even consider it. As soon as I see it on my account, a few days later, it'll be spent. Cardi got denied. That's the thing that really sucks about Capital One is they are definitely being protective and gatekeeping with their cards. They're not giving credit card users the chance to use their products, and I think that's going to hurt them in the long run. They could be the subprime people all they want, but they've made moves to enter the credit card game, and it seems like they're also making moves to hinder themselves in the credit card game. But I don't know. Uh-oh. Dogs are. Oh, you know what? I forgot. Sorry, I could have hit the like that. I keep forgetting. Guys, I'm not quite used to the StreamYard software just yet, so I hope to get better every time. Let's just hope I do. All right, guys, we've been going on an hour and 20 minutes. I think that's pretty good for me. I'll give it about 5 more minutes to answer any questions you guys have. But if you have showed up tonight and joined me on this live, I really do appreciate it. And if you have hit me with a super chat or a super thanks, I really do appreciate it. These lives are really fun, and I'm going to be going live every Thursday in October. I'm going to try to really pump up my volume in this quarter, and I really want to take that march to 20,000 subscribers. I'm not sure where I am right now, but we might be getting really close to 19,000. I used to average about 500 a month, so I think I have a shot to hit 20,000 in 2024. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe to this joker, and we'll hit it in 2024. And that's what I'm going to kind of reevaluate the whole YouTube game and see where this channel can go, and make the decision whether to really invest in it or to back off. But we really have to hit that 20,000 subs this year, and that's really something I never thought I'd be able to do. So I appreciate all you guys that have subbed. Ethan Yang says, "What's people's best United mileage use?" I don't use United much, man, so I don't know. It's been the U.S. to random Africa, 11 cents per point. That's awesome. I know it seems like that United has a lot of options. That's what I would say. They don't really fly out of my airport. Very, very few flights. But they do fly out of Washington, Dulles, and Chicago, obviously, and Newark, if anybody wanted to stop in Newark. So I don't know. I'm behind the curve on United, and I'm still kind of learning. That's a good question. Filmo said, "Great live. I got to find my Kevlar vest for Memphis. Have a great night, everyone." Filmo, be careful, my man. I'm sure Memphis is awesome, though. I've never been, but I'm sure it's awesome. Thoughts on Motley Crue? seem to be touring a lot. Yeah, here's the thing, man. My thoughts on Motley Crue. Yeah, I love Motley Crue. Um, do I want to see Vince Neil run around wheezing and not be able to really sing the lyrics? No, I like concerts. I love Motley Crue, but you're right. Now I would maybe go see him at the Sphere in Vegas as holograms. That might be cool. Oh, 18,600. Yeah, so we're close, man. We should. I put in some good effort. I think we can get 20,000 before the end of the year. Can you set up a reminder for your live sessions? I live overseas, so I'm almost close to. Okay, they're going to be same time, but I'll try to figure out how to do that. They'll also be posted in my community page. I usually put a thumbnail and kind of go over maybe some of the things we'll be talking about. So yeah, I'll try to get better at that. Rosie Peach, slightly off topic of credit cards, but what do you think of Bank of America glitch showing customers balances as zero? Yeah, everybody knows that your money's insured in most of these larger banks. So I think when that happened, I would hope most people would say, "Oh, something's up," but it is an example of just how vulnerable some of these banks are to what you call glitches or other things. It's scary, man. That's why a lot of people kind of spread it around. Leanne's from Memphis. I think Philmo left. He's visiting. He's visiting Memphis this week or next week. He's afraid of. He's going to wear his Kevlar vest and his stab-proof plates. So I'm sure Leanne's going to say it's not that bad there, and I'm sure she's right. Oreo Bound, thanks for the live. Great community. Yeah, have a good night, Oreo. Thanks for stopping by. Leanne says it's dangerous but fun. Just watch your back. Hey, Philmo was in New Orleans with us, and in my opinion, New Orleans has the potential to be extremely dangerous, and I think Philmo fit in just fine. So he might be okay in Memphis. I would like to visit Memphis, but I don't have any plans to right now. All right, guys. Everyone that showed up, I super appreciate it. I am going to sign off for the night and get my beauty sleep because God knows I need it. As always, you could be anywhere, but you chose to be here, and I thank you for that. Good night, guys.